The following program is brought to you with limited commercial interruption.
Today's broadcast is being simulcast in broken English.
I'm here to show the world. I'm here to show the world.
Welcome to the show that we're doing right now.
What the hell are we doing on this show?
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
It jumped up a notch.
It did, didn't it?
Let's go.
What is this?
Giggity, 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 goo.
Who else but
The Q.
it's showtime?
Gentlemen, let's get down to business.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Yeah, I can dig it, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Q. You're listening to the best pop culture, current events, and current affairs show east or west of that Mississippi River, hailing from the great city of St. Louis and worldwide at theqnow.com. I am your host, Mark Bland, here on 1280 AM KYRO 105.3 FM every single Saturday, 1 till 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. You guys can be a part of our world. Go to theqnow.com. I know that that's the site now. I know I've talked about the fact that I'm possibly going to be switching up the name of the show and moving things different places. That's still going to happen, but until we get to there, that is where you go right now, theqnow.com, TheQNOW.com. Today's show is special to me because this individual who is on the show today has never been on the radio with me. We've done shows together. He's been on the Q many a time. He's been a co-host. He's what I like to call my little bear. And that's just because I'm taller than him, and he's really small compared to me. But ladies and gentlemen, comedian extraordinaire from the St. Louis area, one of the best people you are going to ever hear on radio or TV or anything ever. I promise you this. Ladies and gentlemen, Jonathan May. What's going on, Jonathan May?
What up, Mark, man? New digs? You got the new show?
I got the new show. I got the new digs. We're hanging out. We're doing our thing. We've got a lot. It's different too now. It's different too. We've got breaks now where we get commercials. We go to the bathroom if we want to, and we can talk to people and send a text message back without having, we've got all kinds of opportunities to work with here in the new setup. But hey, welcome to KYRO, man.
Well, thank you. It smells new in here.
It does. It does smell nice in here, doesn't it?
Yeah, this is great.
Everybody likes it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it has been, Jonathan, have you been paying attention to the news?
Yeah.
The news at all? Like, have you been, aside from Putin, aside from Vladimir Putin, have you been paying attention to the news at all?
Yeah, what you got?
We've got a lot of different things. And there's one thing that I want to talk about right off the top, right? Everybody's talking about Ukraine. Everybody's talking about Russia. Everybody's talking about the war that's going on between Ukraine and Russia currently, as actually the invasion of Russia into Ukraine. It's not much of a war. They are warring, but at the same point, this is literally one guy picking on the other. That's what this wasn't like where both of them like changed the guard at the border every single day and yell at each other, and then eventually one day things just spilled over. No, that's not what happened here, okay? There is a story that is kind of sticking behind the scenes a little bit. It's not like right out in front, but I think that that's kind of a dual purpose to this. I think that one person hasn't pulled the trigger on making this a worldwide news story, even though it's already filtered through the world. It's out there in the ether. We know about it. And the other individual who's involved, and that would be Putin and Biden be the other individual, he's trying to probably keep it low-key because he's not exactly sure how this is all going to fall out right now. There's a lot of different plates spinning currently, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to this whole war with Ukraine and Putin and Russia and world geopolitical economics and all kinds of other things. There's a lot going on here, Jonathan. But on top of all this, there is a female WNBA player by the name of Britney Griner.
Eesh.
And have you heard about this?
Cannabis. She got caught with cannabis, right?
Let's talk about this. Britney Griner was earning $1.5 million per off season, $1.5 million per off season playing for the Moscow team that is backed by one of Putin's oligarch friends. 6 times her WNBA salary, by the way. Russian state media released photos of this basketball star in custody. And this all comes on the heels of the fact that nobody even knew that Griner was being detained in Russia. we knew that she was over there playing because she obviously plays for the team and she was handling this during her off season. But nobody knew that she had tried to make a move back to the United States or come home a few weeks ago and was detained at that time. Now, as you brought up and stated already, she was detained because of vape pens, hash oil, weed. She was basically detained because of weed that they found in her personal belongings. But now, mind you, to Russia's defense on this situation, they're their own country. They have their own laws and their own rules, and the way they view things is different than the way the United States or Amsterdam or a lot of places view different things. They got their own rules in Spain and France and Russia. Like other countries have their own rules. It's not our backyard to dictate the rules of. So in their country, that is a very big offense. That's something that you shouldn't have or be caught with. Okay, fine. Griner was arrested at the airport in Moscow in late February after returning from a break to play for the UMMC Ekaterinburg, something like that.
Something like that.
She earns $1 million per offseason playing for the team, 1.5. Many other WNBA players go to Russia in the offseason to bolster their earnings. They have all returned now, but Griner remains in an unknown Russian prison as we speak. Police claim that she is carrying a cannabis-filled vape pen when she returned. Her family say they have few details, and the White House and State Department are working to find out more and how to possibly free her.
What is she looking at? She looking at some time or what?
Well, I've heard a few different things, okay? I've heard up to 10 years in prison. I've heard up to 20 years in prison. I've heard as low as 5 years or even a couple of years. Like, I think depending on who you're talking to and what, like, a lot of this is really going to come down, just like in the United States and our legal system, to who she gets as her Russian lawyer, except for she's got a bigger issue, ladies and gentlemen. And that bigger issue is that Russia is in the middle of creating their own World War III. And by being in the middle of creating their own World War III and being a very reputable and well-known name, basically a Hall of Famer for women's NBA, which is going to happen. Like, she's already at that level. She's also gay. She's a homosexual. And that is extremely looked down, even worse than weed. That's even more that's death. That's like deadly. Like, that's the kind of stuff. Now, Vladimir Putin probably hasn't made a big deal or made a move yet because he doesn't know how he wants to dangle this pickle in front of everybody. He has no idea if he's going to connect it to like a fishing pole or a stick with string. He doesn't know. But I guarantee you, he's been made well aware that there is an NBA. I know the W is on the front of it. WNBA. She's a female basketball player. But the NBA's name is attached to this individual. He knows that she is going to garner a lot of talk, a lot of eyes. And at this point, she's basically Otto Warrenberger. Remember the guy who came back from North Korea, brain dead, after they picked him up because he was on vacation during spring break? And before you know it, he comes back brain dead and dies here in a United States hospital? Like, she's a star. Now, that helps her and it hurts her. It helps her in the fact that she's also a star for their team. She's a star for one of these Russian oligarchs and his team over there. Now, how deep he is in with Putin, how that's going to affect the way that they view her and how they're going to move forward with her is going to come into play, obviously.
It's not. She's screwed. She's literally screwed.
But to every human being who lives in the United States of America, you and me, and everyone else, she's screwed. Like you just said. Like there is,
you know why?
Because she's a prisoner of war.
No, because she's a black woman. America don't care about that.
She's a black gay
Russia
woman.
Don't care about that.
She's a black gay woman.
Yeah.
It's even worse. But that's what I'm trying to explain, ladies and gentlemen. This is why this is kind of a testy situation. The NBA is the overriding factor here. Like that's going to catch a lot of eyes worldwide, period. The minute that they start trying to use her as this political foil one way or the other. That's why Putin hasn't made his move yet, because he doesn't really know how he wants to dangle her out in front of everybody. On the other side of that is Joe Biden. Yeah, they're working behind the scenes to try to alleviate the situation and get her out of there and get her home. But at the same point, he knows he's in the middle of dealing with Russia trying to pull us into a World War III, literally as we speak. And we're going to talk a little bit more about Russia. We're going to talk a little bit more about the United States' response to the Ukraine so far, how this should be viewed, how we should go forward. But Griner is in a very precarious position.
You think?
I've talked to friends of mine from Russia. They do not look fondly on homosexuals
America
at all.
In this situation, it's like if you caught your wife cheating, and then she kicks you out and moves the new guy in, but you like, oh, I left my PlayStation over there. You ain't getting that PlayStation back.
Yeah, you're not going to get that PlayStation back. And by the way, got to remind you, we're on the radio. Don't cuss, sir. Do not cuss. I mean, you didn't cuss. Well, I just got to let you know. Listen, when we start talking about black females who are also homosexual and being held against their will in a prison far, far away, the curse words from an American who's a part of that culture can come out very quickly. Is all I'm saying.
I'm just like my mom's right here.
That's fine.
My off switch on.
You got your off switch off. That's fine. That's right. But I don't know. I find it odd that Putin hasn't decided to jump on this yet. It might not be something that's important to him per se, because he's kind of more focused on
Ukraine,
kind of getting his ass handed to him half of the time, and then trying to use 30-year-old cruise missiles and whack old technology no one uses to try to like take down this place. And like I said on the last show last week, Jonathan, I said before this, if you would have asked me about Russia and their power and what they got going on, I would have told you world power, nuclear weapons, a massive military that could like take on this, that, and the other. Now that they've actually invaded Ukraine and like what they're dealing with, and they're like taking heavy casualties here and there and wounded and stuff, like I'm not so high on Russia as being this military power anymore. And I've brought it up multiple times that we have all these drones that we could just literally, like, you were in the military. I wasn't in the military, but I understand where we're at in 2022 compared to 15 years ago, 25 years ago, 50 years ago. Like, this isn't what, like, conservative Americans love to think of war in terms of World War II. Nope. It's where all the stories came from that they always grew up from grandpa and great grandpa and everybody. It's the idea of getting out there, like Saving Private Ryan, your bayonet versus their bayonet, and we're gonna really grind it out and see who's got the right "Don't Tread on Me" shirt this week. But no, it's 2022, guys. I said it on the last show. We can send up 1,000 drones, all computer organized at the same time via GPS that can be within an inch of each other or 10 to 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 yards of each other, and all control it by a computer, and we can make beautiful flowers in 3D representations over the top of the Olympic Stadium so that the whole world can see what we can do with drones. We can also connect little bombs the size of a water bottle to the bottoms of 1,000 of those, and we can send them 30 yards apart from each other as a sweeping blanket over the top of Moscow, and they're only going to get half of them. The other half are going to drop bombs that can literally level 3 city blocks in every direction. And when you got 100 of those that go off at one time, you've just leveled everything from 1st Street to 125th in New York. Literally 125 full blocks. The entire Long Island gone. No questions asked, all 8 million people with it. Like, do you not understand? That's the warfare that we can do in Plus, we have supersonic drones. We got drones that can literally send down napalm style, like, carpet bombings. Literally, that can just fly out of their airspace and like out of range, and then literally the computers are so. Listen, this is the difference between you, conservative, who likes to shoot at a turkey that doesn't shoot back, and science. Not God, science. Science says that the drone will tell you, I have to let go of the bomb literally 3 seconds before I hit this point for it to drop right here. Even with the wind blowing as hard as it wants, because we'll take that into account too. It's science. And we'll still land right on top of Putin's head.
You're missing the point too on that one though. The bombs are smart now too.
The bombs are even smart.
We got bombs that won't detonate till they get a certain amount of feet underground.
People, we have warheads and stuff that we have built sitting in bunkers that literally won't even get touched in an entire world war. It'll just sit there the entire world war. We won't even touch it. We won't even touch it. It's just not even something we're playing around with right now. And if we choose, we can go back and pull that stuff out too. Like, we got so much at our disposal. People don't understand we are the greatest military power in the world. The reason Putin wants to drag us into this because he's trying to level the game so that it's easier for him in China. China keeps half of their country so poor they don't even have the will to fight. So they're not going to try to fight anybody. The other half might, but probably not. What we're dealing with is authoritarian dictators like Putin, like Xi Jinping, like Kim Jong-un. They only care about one thing, themselves. Imagine if tomorrow North Korea decided that they wanted to get into a war with Russia. Let's just use that as an example. Do you think the people of North Korea, the way they're treated by Kim Jong-un, really, honestly, if you catch them in a bathroom by themselves and you ask them the question without any surveillance around, do you think any of them want to go and fight on behalf of this guy who treats them like that? No. Do you think the people of Russia are the ones making this decision, or is it Putin and his group of individuals right around him that are making these decisions and then utilizing these things? Hey, listen, there have been Russian soldiers that have already defected, literally left in the middle of battle and joined up to work with Ukraine. Not necessarily fighting alongside or fighting against Russia, but like helping them in other ways, like they don't want to fight. This is because this is taken up on his own hand. And this is where the Britney Griner situation becomes even scarier, because it's literally all in the hands of Vladimir Putin himself, what he chooses to do. So if on a bad Sunday he reads a headline he just doesn't like from the Daily Mail online, or Kanye says something about Pete Davidson the wrong way, before you know it, Griner's dead. That's not me being funny. She's just dead, and then they put her in a box and then they say, we never had her, you guys made that up. And then we have no proof. The only thing that we have proof of is they took a picture of her. So it's obvious that they're putting that out there to let everybody know. We have this individual. We took a picture of her. The world now knows about it. And we're letting you know that we know about it.
This is a messed up situation right there.
It is a messed up situation. Okay, we're going to take a quick break here on The Q. When we come back, more with myself and Jonathan May. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on? Welcome back to The Q. Mark Bland, Jonathan May, he's sitting over there.
Right here.
And we are talking about the Britney Griner situation. We're talking about Vladimir Putin. We're talking about the Ukraine. And I don't think that there's much more to really discuss on the Britney Griner situation. Obviously, she's in a bad position. I don't know what the best way to get her out of there is, but that is going to swing us into this part of the conversation, Jonathan. And this is a part of the conversation you probably have a little bit of background in because of being former military, having dealt with that part of the world when it came to wartime, because you were involved in Iraq and Iran and all that over there in the Middle East when that was all hot and going on. Quite a few years. What year were you in? What years were you in?
99 to, what was that, 2015?
You were in 99 to 2015.
Right.
Okay, so for almost 20 years. Mm-hmm. Like you were working with the United States military in your position. Yep. We talked about this on the show before. Yeah, I think you were a military police officer, correct? Right. Yep. And so when you have a situation like we're dealing with, the way that you have to play the game is very, very important. And by the way, if you guys want to talk about high gas prices and why they're high and things like this, understand the way the geopolitical forces kind of wind themselves up in these situations. With gas prices specifically as an example, there is a lot of different things that are coming into play for why the gas prices are high.
Well, I thought it was just Joe Biden's fault.
Well, you can blame Joe Biden. Joe Biden is part of the issue. No. Joe Biden's part of the issue. Donald Trump is a part of the issue. Vladimir Putin and this invasion into Ukraine is part of the issue. Sanctions that are coming down and the way that we view them are part of it. But it's not about left versus right. It's not about whose team in the United States you want to be a part of or not a part of, like Trump or Biden or this or that. Like, that has absolutely nothing to... It's not the guy who voted for Biden sitting next to you at the light that the reason the gas prices are high. And it's not the guy who voted for Trump sitting next to you at the light that's the reason the gas prices are high. The moves that these men made are the reasons why these things happen, but they're also the reasons why other things have been put into these positions. Now, let's talk about where we're at with Ukraine right now. And one of my biggest issues that I have currently, Jonathan, do you think that our response to this Ukrainian situation has been good?
Ooh, it's tough. You cannot overstep on this, man. The minute we do anything as the U.S., that's definitely world war. You know what I'm saying? Like Biden, I believe, is doing what he can do to a certain extent with the sanctions and and trying to do things with the oil prices and stuff like that. But you cannot actively get involved in this at the moment, or else we'll have World War III.
Correct. See, and this is from the mind of a person who was around this for many, many years and dealt with it. Like, you guys have to understand. At the same point, I'm kind of disappointed in the fact that we haven't decided to side up with Ukraine. Maybe move some of our troops over that way to help with the situation. Only because as of right now, it just looks like Putin keeps pushing further in.
He does.
They almost have the city of Kyiv. Right? That's their capital. Once that falls, a lot of the other areas surrounding are going to fall very quickly, which means Putin successfully invaded and took Ukraine back. And all without the United States firing a single shot or helping out in that regard or doing anything to defend them. And these are people that we've made deals with that said we would help defend them. We've asked them to be a part of NATO and, the UN and all this. All these things are going on at the same time. And I find it really odd that we haven't just done it simply because we are the biggest dog militarily on the block. Like, what we could send in just the stuff we discussed earlier, drones and simple things that we don't even have to touch a human being for at all, to go over there and lay waste to all these troops that are lined up along this border, right? Let's lay waste to them. Now, we would look like the bad guys, right? Because we're killing human beings because they're lined up and they're coming into these cities 20,000 deep, 15,000 deep, whatever, as Russian soldiers, right? Except for it's a war. And the rules of engagement are simple. Once war starts, they shoot at you, you can shoot at them.
That is definitely a good way to start World War III.
It is a good way to start World War III, but are we going to be able to avoid it?
The minute you step over there, China is going to try to overthrow Taiwan.
Well, they could have already done it right now. They haven't pulled that trigger yet. That would be a good time to do it right now. They could just literally get as many troops as they want, surround Taiwan with their ships, and then literally while this is going over here and the United States has to focus on that, they could just start doing this over here, which would draw the United States in anyway. They could do it. They haven't done it yet. I don't know if that's an end game for them.
It would be.
I don't know if it's an end game for them now is what I'm saying.
It would be the perfect opportunity for them because our forces would be over there, occupied, and they would do what they had to do. Can you imagine being in the military right now and your mind frame? I know these people are losing their mind right about now.
Do you think that what would it take for the United States, in your opinion, former military mind, in your opinion, what would it take right now for the United States to get drawn in?
A nuke.
It would have to be a nuke?
A nuke.
It couldn't just be them hanging the president of Ukraine on national TV in front of the whole world.
You mean the way we did
and then
Saddam Hussein?
Firebomb. Well, I'm just saying, it'd have to be a nuke. Now, who would they shoot a nuke at? The only place they're going to shoot a nuke. Now, it depends on what type of nuke we're talking about. Are we talking about low-end nuke that's just going to take out Ukraine? Or are we talking about we're going to go after Switzerland or Finland or some other country, Spain, France, some other country, Germany, some other country that is allied with the United States that they're going to try to do a Hiroshima Nagasaki situation.
Right. And you know what? You said Switzerland and Finland, and that probably is correct. And on a side note, I had no idea those guys were in NATO. When you think of Switzerland and Finland, you think those guys are in NATO.
You would think based off of the way that the country runs mentally, a little bit more of an American democracy,
right.
Clean streets,
right.
Decent people. You would think that they're making the smart decisions and being a part of the UN and NATO and this and the other. And maybe they can't because there might be a certain cost to it or whatever the reason. I don't know. But what I'm saying is you're right. But at the same point, the reason why the NATO situation exists the way it does is because they all expect the United States, as the biggest dog on the block, to kind of be the police and have their back.
Right.
We haven't done that yet for Ukraine. Eventually, they're going to take Zelensky, or he's going to run away to another country. Great. But once he runs away to another country, Ukraine's done. Right. They've already been taken over. So what was the point of even doing sanctions at that point? I understand it looks good. It helps with trying to knock down Russian oligarch money and the way that they're funding things through the Swiss bank and the World Bank and all these other things. But how did it effectively end what was the whole point of what we were trying to stop, which is exactly Zelensky on TV saying, we need help. Dude, the United States turned down the fighter jets from Poland. Did you hear about that? Yeah. The United States was offered up MiGs. that they could house on their airbase to get to Ukraine. And they turned it flat down. They were like, no, we're not going to touch that. Maybe it goes back to what you were saying, Jonathan, this idea of World War III. Like, we're not touching anything that could bring us into World War III. Is this because of the way that the last World War ended?
How about you as president?
Yes.
What's your last straw? What's your last straw in this?
Where's my last straw on this? I would have already probably at least sent in some form or fashion. Hey, listen, when North Korea was attacking South Korea during the 50s, and we sent like 3,000 or 4,000 troops over there as a police action, is what they call it, a police action. Right. Both Vietnam as well as South Korea were police action situations. South Korea stayed kind of a police action. Vietnam turned into a complete out war between us and Vietnam. Like, that's completely different way that it ended. But my point being is, send like 2,000 or 3,000 troops to them. Send them with our cool machinery. Let's have some fun. Let's take out a tank or two and kill like 20 of these guys here so that they can see what can really happen when it's 2 o'clock in the morning. They ain't paying attention. They see a snow flurry coming down from the sky, and before you know it, everything around them is just shard and ash. Okay, well, hey, listen, you've already killed 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 Ukrainians. I don't feel bad for taking out 20 of your guys when I got 5,000 dead bodies over here. Especially if it's to stop you from invading their country.
Yeah, they're going to take that and twist it. And
of course they're going to take. But listen,
that's how it happens.
This is war. This is what was great about World War II, that everybody loved the history of World War II. This is why there's whole channels, right, on Pluto TV and everything, dedicated to just World War II in color, not in color, from Hitler's point of view, from this place. Here's 2 movies from Clint Eastwood alone. One's about Iwo Jima from this side of the story, and here's the other one, the flags of our fathers from this side of the story. Same war, same battle and everything, just 2 different. Like, they went nuts on World War II. But think of all those intricate aspects. That's going to pop up in a World War III. All of those things are now. I think Putin is smart enough to know that he is not the only country that has nuclear weapons of the United States' level and power over there. He knows there is NATO. He knows there is the UN. And there are all these countries in Europe that do have nuclear weapons and can use them if they want to. And by the way, it's been a long time since World War II. I'm pretty sure that even Germany might have a couple hidden a few different places, guys, especially between 1980 and 2015. And that range right there, for sure, I guarantee you they bulked up a little bit, because you were already at that point, 45, 50 years past when World War II ended. So, like, yeah. I also think it's funny that we have a pretty close relationship with Japan. We can get those airlines and those fighter ships and all the things that we have over there ramped up pretty quick to get to Taiwan and to get to China if we need to. Yeah. Now, I personally think Putin made a mistake. I think Putin's mistake was going after the Ukraine and wasting his time with that. Do you know why? I don't think it benefits you. I still have ships literally 2-3 football fields off your shores right now. Even once you take over the Ukraine, I'll still have with warheads on them. They could not cruise missiles, newer stuff, 2022 stuff, Putin. I got stuff literally that I can shoot and just take out all of the port cities and all that, like destroy your docks. It's still useless to you. It's still useless to you. Like, you would have been better off making a move on China. Like, you're talking, like, the whole point is before this started, everybody was talking about how Putin was in this mindset where it was all about empires. He was talking about Caesar and the Mongols and all these different empires that existed over time over in their area and other parts of the world, and how they would pillage and they would take over lands and reform and build their empires bigger. And it's like, but it's 2022. Most places on this earth have been settled at this point. There's some form or fashion of people or government or something that is inhabiting a majority of places. And your country's massive. But if you wanted more land, well, the people of China are basically held to below poverty standards 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Why not just go take them out? You could easily scrap lands off the eastern side or the western side of China. And yeah, eventually you would have to get into a fight with Xi Jinping. But hey, you know, You want to fight so bad. Because here's the deal. They really don't understand. They just don't understand. Jonathan, when push comes to shove and the United States finally decides we're going to enter in this situation, those first 2 weeks are going to be hellacious for these places. You thought that people in the 80s standing around with soup cans trying to get bread and communism lines in Russia was bad? Wait till all of Moscow's gone.
It'd be nothing but bombing. We wouldn't see.
Wait till Stalingrad gone. Wait till this gone.
All from there.
The only thing we ain't going to knock down is probably the Red Square, right? All the cool looking Tetris buildings that were on the cover of the Tetris game. Like, we're not going to knock that down. It looks cool.
Hey, what do you think Putin's mind frame is right now? I bet he won't even. I bet 10 people taste this food before he even takes a bite.
If I was Vladimir Putin, I would be scared shitless that some young gun who's got oligarch money sitting behind me like 2 or 3 levels down is sitting there just waiting for his chance, just like you in 2000. In 1999 and 2000, when you was getting ready to make that move with your oligarch money and your players behind you, former KGB guy in his late 40s, early 50s, getting ready to ramp this up and take it to the people. Yeah, man, it was easy for you to walk in and then poison people and then switch all these elections to where it was you every single time because you were just so popular because everybody's like, really cool with you riding bears bareback naked and shit. Like, everybody's down for that. That's why they vote for you, right? No. You just rigged it. We get it. Okay. You don't think there's a guy 45, 50, 55 years old with Russian oligarch money sitting there? Some of your oligarchs, maybe even some of your oligarchs. Hey, what if I was a Russian oligarch who had all this money and power and you're close to the same age as me, but you're making all these moves? They just shut my entire money bank down. All my money train is gone.
And Netflix.
They
took Netflix away from Sony, all this stuff, man.
Coca-Cola, all of it.
Great.
But here's the thing, guys. It doesn't matter because taking all that away from him doesn't mean anything. It's right now, it's about, I want to kill these people and take their land. That's it. That's the end game for him.
No, it's not the end game. It's only his first step.
Okay, we're going to talk a little bit more about this. We're going to take a quick break here on the show. When we come back, more with myself and Jonathan May. We'll be back right after this.
Friday night, I'm going nowhere. All the lights are changing, green to red.
Welcome back to the Q. Mark Bland, Jonathan May, KYRO 1280 AM radio. We love you all out there. Make sure you go check out theqnow.com. Old episodes, new episodes, and everything in between. You did miss last week. He's taking a week off. Hunter Biden's laptop showed up. Hunter Biden's laptop is, I own currently Hunter Biden's laptop. I'm in complete control of this, Jonathan.
How did you get it?
And sometimes, well, I'm not going to get into, listen. I owed some money on some WNBA wagers I made, so let's just say I'm just leaving it at that. That's all I'm saying, but I got Hunter Biden's laptop.
Yeesh.
I got Hunter Biden's laptop. Now, with that being said, okay, he's taking a week off. Last week was a lot. He was the first time in America on the air telling everybody what's on his mind, what's going on. This week he's taking a week off. You know, he's kind of like getting himself together. I had to like slap him like from the movie Airplane, like don't call me, slapping him and all that. Yeah. Had to slap him around a little bit, but we were talking about Vladimir Putin. We were talking about Ukraine. We were talking about this war. I think what's really interesting, and we talked about it right before we hit the last break, is the fact that there are these other countries, and I talked about a specific country that has a leader who's like into MMA fighting and all this other stuff. And one of the other things that has been brought to everyone's attention is that currently the last few really well-regarded names in the UFC were Russian fighters. These are people like Khabib Nurmagomedov or whatever his name is. I can't say his last name. I'm sorry, it's chopped up.
Like a chef.
I'm
names.
Like the Hunter Biden of this show.
Jeez.
There you go. Yeah. But anyway, Khabib and Kazmat, and there's a few others over there that are kind of like stars in the world of MMA, and they currently fight for the UFC. And as you were talking about Coca-Cola and all these different companies pulling their business out of Russia, it has been brought to everybody's attention that Dana White has the UFC and has fighters that he pays that are on his books. Now, so does professional hockey, but pays these fighters that are in a sport of war, which is what the MMA is. And so, like, there's been calls on Dana White to pull out of Russia and Russian fighters and not allow them to be on his cards. Now, he hasn't made a step one way or the other. But I will say this. He has not been scared to talk about setting these Russian fights up, even with regards to what's going on. He's moving forward with his plans. And you got Alexander Ovechkin, or I'm sorry, I don't know if it's Alexander, I think it is, but you got Ovechkin, and you have other hockey players from Russia that play for the NHL currently, right now, that suit up every single night. And this is kind of where it goes back to my argument that it's about one man and his decisions. It's not about the people, right? Because the people don't necessarily agree with Putin 100% on this. Don't get me wrong, he's got his supporters, just like Trump had his supporters. And by the way, there we go. There's another human being that's thrown his stupidness into this, calling him a genius and telling everybody, like, could you imagine? Let me ask you, Jonathan, you've talked for the entire time that Donald Trump was president of the United States. You were a part of the queue. You saw it from day one all the way through. Right. Now, if Donald Trump was involved right now, let's say he's president instead of Joe Biden, what kind of moves do you think Donald Trump would be making right now?
He would.
What do you think he'd be doing?
He would send troops to Russia to help with the invasion.
Do you think he'd go that deep?
Man,
I don't know if he'd go that deep. That's pretty deep.
That boy is stupid.
But that's pretty direct. That's pretty, like, on top, like, in your face, kind of stupid.
He
like
wants Putin's approval. Still. He's not even president anymore. He still wants that approval from that guy.
Well, of course he wants. He just wants authoritarian. He wants authoritarian approval. Whether it's Kim Jong-un or Putin or this guy or the guy Duarte down there in the Philippines or whatever. Like, he just wants approval from these people because he thinks it's really cool that they can tell everybody on the earth, not just the people that work for him in their building, everyone in their country at any time to do things like a barking dog. Like, literally, this is the first scene when the girl shows up in Coming to America and they ask her to hop on one leg and bark like a dog. That is Donald Trump.
Yep.
Donald Trump is hopping on one leg and barking like a dog. He will do exactly whatever they ask him to do. It doesn't matter what it is. He'll just do it.
You gonna get some hate mail?
I might get some hate mail. But it's true. It's true.
I'll take half of that hate mail, man.
But think about it. It's true. He is the guy who will do that.
Yeah, he is.
Because he wants that blind loyalty.
He did do that. Remember he threw that soccer ball to him? Was that in Helsinki? And he was like, hey,
yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah, I got a soccer ball. Thanks.
But I find it so, because everybody wants to blame Biden for this. Guys, like we've been talking, Biden has, let's talk about the gas prices here in the United States. There's a lot going on here. Okay, you guys don't know about a lot of things, but let's get into these gas prices a little bit here in the United States. They're high, are they not, Jonathan?
Yeah, they are.
They are high currently. And I will say that, yes, Joe Biden is to blame, Donald Trump is to blame, MSB is to blame, Putin is to blame, and let's break some of these guys down. Let's start off with Donald Trump. Let's just put him on the he's the former president, so he's not the current guy making any decisions or moves. But let's put you guys on par with this whole situation. For all of you out there that want to choose sides, left or right, Republican, Democrat, liberal, conservative, okay. I know that the Keystone XL pipeline is a real big focus for you. But what is not taken into account? Let me explain. Things that don't exist already, okay? They're not taken into account into any of your prices right now, okay? Pipelines, listen, all of these pipelines could literally tomorrow been all the red tape cut away, green lit, and it would still be 5 more years before they've pumped 1 ounce of oil through them to even start affecting your prices. And trust me, nobody who owns any of those gas companies or oil companies is going to want to make 1 red cent less than they do as we speak, okay? So this idea that they turn this pipeline on, start that Keystone up, it'll be done by the end of the month, they'll turn it on, and it'll be $1.55 by the end of the month. Nope.
I've literally heard that 5 times today.
Guys, nope.
And my reply every time was like, hey, you gonna go work it? Are you going to go work? Because you got to pay these people.
It's not going to happen.
Nope.
It's not going to happen. It would take many more years before they even turned it on for the first time and could start trying to figure out how to get their specular and all that down that road. Now, but Donald Trump did have a little kerfluffle. something that was kind of kept behind the scenes, but at the same point, it was a news story. We all heard about it. It just kind of was so many crappy news stories going on at the time that we couldn't. There were so many other crappy things going on at the time. You couldn't keep attached to all the news stories at the time, right? Every day there was like 5 new tweets you had to focus on, plus 3 new TV shows he was yelling at, plus there was this going on. Omarosa is kicking somebody in the back of the head over here. Like, we had a million things going on, and that's before he pushes world leaders out of the way to stand in front of them on stage at the G8 or the G this or whatever. It doesn't matter, okay? Can't keep everything in your peripheral at all times. At one point, he was thinking about the idea of switching up the United States' oil dependency from the Middle East because he hates those dirty terrorists. And he was going to maybe talk to Vladimir Putin about getting more oil from Russia. And so he decided to do that. And he made phone calls and he had a meeting, a face-to-face meeting with Putin within a month after he made this decision. Now, here's the problem. The United States has made loans. I've talked about this on the show many times. The United States has made many loans across the world for monies that they needed at different times for different things. We couldn't pay all those loans back right now if they wanted us to. We just couldn't do it. So in exchange for these loans to not have to be paid back at the moment for this chip to be cashed in, they make deals. MSB, Iraq, Iran, the Saudis, they make deals. They're like, you borrowed this much money from us, so we won't ask for the money back, but you have to buy this amount of oil from us, which keeps food on the tables of our people that live over here in the Middle East, and their families moving along just like your families in your country. And so we tell them, you know what, that's a deal. We'll buy so much from you, this, that, and the other. Well, when you have these 20, 30-year-long deals, like, and by the way, for anybody who hasn't really researched oil deals out there, you should go check it out. Some of them are 27 years long. 27-year-long deals, like contracts that they've written up, because that's how much money physically was borrowed when you get into the billions, okay? We have to buy oil at this level from them. Now, we don't always, like, at one point we started to have more oil that we were exporting than we were importing. We were never energy independent, like everybody always tries to say, oh, you're independent energy. That's just some stuff that Fox News told you. That's just some stuff that the conservatives told you. I'm not saying that Fox News is wrong, but as far as like independence goes, we never were truly independent. At the same point, we were exporting more than we were importing. So our theory at one point, and this is under Trump too, was, hey, we might be able to offset this by making a deal over here with these people to change this game up. Except for the contracts were in the way. Well, when MSB found this out, that he was being played against Putin, he got angry at Trump and was like, dude, do not try this move. Like, this will not end well for you. We still are here. We are the beehive that is the Middle East. We can still screw up a lot of things for you right now. Like, do not play this game. And Russia knew this. Vlad was going to sit there with an open ear, you know, legs crossed, arms crossed, just kind of listening to, let Trump spiel, let him do his spiel. Let you go ahead, get that off your chest. Okay, cool. What I want you to buy from me. That's it. No one else. And Trump wasn't able to pull that off. So the deal kind of went away and got quiet. Nobody really did anything with it, but it made MSB and the Saudis unhappy. Well, cut quick change now to this week, ladies and gentlemen, when Joe Biden is trying to get people to support and help out with the Ukraine situation, as well as he has high gas prices in the United States. He only gets 8% of his crude oil from Russia. So he's trying to find ways, now that he's cut that off, to like increase that 8% or get that 8% from somewhere else. He's trying to call MSB and Saudis and all these guys, and they're like, no, bro. No, I'm sorry. That last guy screwed it up, man. He tried to like play us against this and this. No. And now you guys are in the middle of a war with that guy specifically who has no warheads just like us. No, we're not trying to get, kind of like Jonathan said at the beginning of the show, just not trying to get involved in World War III. Yep. And everyone is playing him like this. So that is Trump's fault. That is Trump's fault. Joe Biden's another problem. Aside from Joe Biden's position right now currently, he's also the guy who told them that he was going to help the Middle East with this whole Yemen war. He said he was going to get it under control and help them get it all flushed out so that it would stop. It hasn't stopped. We never did anything to stop the Yemen war. Like, it's still going on. And so they're dealing with this all over there. They got their own headaches that they're dealing with that we were supposed to help out with. So not only did the other guy screw it up for you, but you didn't help us when you said you would. So no, there's no help coming there. Okay. Okay, your Keystone XL pipeline the Keystone wouldn't have even been done by this year. The Keystone would have been done by next year. This war's now. It's not when you want it to be. The world doesn't work in your mindset, American, who just is unhappy about high gas prices. The world works at their pace. So I've explained Trump. I've explained MSB. I've explained Saudi. I've explained it. And Vlad, his position on all this, I just want the Ukraine. I just want what I want. Yeah. And I'm not going to listen to anybody because I don't have to. Because most of these countries I could take out with my military or with my nuclear warheads. The only thing that is literally stopping everyone right now is exactly what Jason Cole said last week on the show. Mutually assured destruction through nuclears. That's it. The idea that if we push our biggest bomb, they're going to push their biggest bomb. That's it. And when that happens, millions of people will die. The earth will become flooded with all this radioactive. But, oh my God, I forgot. I just brought up radioactive. I forgot about Chernobyl. First off, Putin bombed a hospital, said it was a military target, bombed a hospital, killed children and women and old people, like a bunch of them. But he also took over Chernobyl, and it's like melting down more. And he's like, because of like the rockets and everything, of it blown open hole, like there's like potential for like high energy leaks going on right now. Like it is just a complete cluster right now. And Putin has no grip on any of it. All he knows is each day he just wants to keep trying to get to their headquarters. Get Zelensky out of the way and get to the headquarters. Zelensky's screwed. Because every day they just keep pushing further into Kyiv. That's it. Once they get to that headquarters, that like he's done. Like that's it. Like they'll either hang him or they'll just shoot him. On spot, like it's done. Like there's not going to be anything else. This man knows this. Will he be a martyr for his people? Probably. Will it matter after the fact? Nope. Because the United States still didn't come and help them try to stave off this issue. And I feel like you asked me the question, what would I do if I was in his shoes? I would have to try to stave off the issue. Because if I'm going to get drug into a war anyway, right? I might as well do it for the right reasons. I tried to help people. I tried to save people. I tried to be a protector. At least that way I look good. This way right now I look like I'm just kind of sitting back. I'm throwing sanctions. Nothing's happening. They killed the president of that country and then took it over just like they said they would. We talked really tough and none of it mattered.
I don't know. I mean, the sanctions not going to affect anything overnight. Well, I mean, the ruble has dropped significantly.
Oh, yeah. They're having some financial issues. The oligarchs are not happy about their money right now.
Yeesh.
All right, we're going to take a quick break here on the show. When we come back, I got some other stories I want to get to. We're going to be back with Jonathan May here on KYRO right after this.
Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey. Staring at your dress because it's see-through. Yeah,
ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Q. Mark Bland, Jonathan May over there. He's a funny guy.
What up?
He's a funny guy. We've been talking a lot about Russia. We've been talking a lot about the Ukraine. Let's get into some nightmare fuel. Do you know what nightmare fuel is? It's the things that the Gen Z and Gen A kids like to call scary, weird stuff that could like create nightmares.
Right. I get you.
Okay. So let me jump onto this right off the bat. Where do you stand on spiders, Jonathan?
I hate them. I hate bugs.
You hate spiders. Then you are not going to like this because this started late last year and it's only going to get worse this year. Researchers say a large spider native to East Asia that proliferated the Georgia area last year could spread to much of the East Coast in 2022. The Joros spider's golden web took over yards all over North Georgia in 2021, unnerving some of the residents. The spider was also spotted in South Carolina, and entomologists expect it to spread throughout the Southeast. A new study suggests it could spread even further than that. The Joro appears better suited to colder temperatures than the related species, researchers at the University of Georgia said in a paper published this past month. It is about double the metabolism, a 77% higher heart rate, and can survive a brief freeze that kills off most of its relatives, if not all.
How big is it?
The researchers also noted that the Joros are found in much of Japan, which are similar climate to the United States.
How big is it?
Okay, this is where we go, Nightmare Fuel. You wanted it. It's about the size of the top of this cup. all the way around. And it looks like those orb weavers, like the really pretty, weird ones with like weird long legs that are like neon colored and stuff. The kind that when you see a spider that looks like that, you go, watch out for that one. I ain't getting near that one. That one's got too many colors on it. Like that's like a snake with too many colors on it. Like black. When you start seeing snakes with black and red stripes, you start going, wait, are there yellow stripes too? Okay, there's too many colors on that snake. I'm not getting anywhere near that thing. This thing is just on your back porch. It's on your deck. It's out in the woods. It's just chilling, and it's going to find its way probably up to colder climates, just like Missouri.
I swear to you, if I dream about spiders tonight, I'm calling you.
I am going to. I'm going to show you a picture of this Joros spider.
I don't want to see it
off the air. I don't
even want to see it off the air.
It's pretty damning, dude.
I don't
like when you see it, you're going to be like, wow. They think that this is going. But this is what caught me by surprise. Now that was the story about the Joros spider and how it's going to spread. Are you ready for this? The Joros spider likes to spread by wind. So it likes to blow a web out, get caught by the wind and drug up into the sky, and then like Red Dawn, they just fall wherever they fall, and that's how they spread. And that's where the nightmare fuel comes in. I saw the spider and I saw the size of it. Think of it, something that big. 30 of them falling from the sky at once, dude. Like I got it, ladies and gentlemen. Just take your two middle fingers and thumbs, put them together in a circle, and just look at how big that circle is. And that's about how big overall, from foot to foot, these spiders are, with the section in the middle and all that. They are very sizable, Jonathan. They are not going to be easy to deal with.
Just falling on people.
Just falling on people, bro.
Oh my God.
And they already got to North Georgia. They already got to the southeast corridor of the United States. So the winds will carry them where they carry them. And not like a bird going south for the winter. I'm just telling you, like they're saying that this spider can like deal with freezes and cold temperatures and be just fine. Can you imagine opening up these ceiling tiles or something like that, or whatever in any of these buildings or anything like that, and then you look up there and there's like a nest of them?
You have another nightmare? I mean, you have something else besides nightmare fuel? Jesus, no, I don't even want to think about that.
Do I have something else other than what? Nightmare fuel?
This is horrible, man.
Scaring you? Are you frightened?
Can you imagine a spider falling on your head? You ever had a spider fall on your head?
I have had spiders fall on me. I have not had one fall on my head per se.
A cicada or something?
I hate when you go to bed at night.
God.
No. I hate when you go to bed at night. You go to sleep like in the summertime. You'll wake up with like an itch on your leg, and you'll read it, and it's like swollen, and it's like it looks like a spider bite, and you're like, did I get bit by a spider while I was sleeping? Because famously they've talked about like the human body ingests like 3 to 5 spiders per year.
Yeah, it's a myth.
While they're sleeping.
Myth. It's understandable, but it's a myth.
Is it a myth?
Yeah.
Think about some of the places, the trailers and things that people sleep in, and what they have just let continue to like live and do their thing there.
Somebody living in a trailer.
I feel like there are people. I feel like there are people that have to deal with this.
I feel like there are people that just eat spiders because they don't care. I've seen a man eat a cicada before, just because he wanted to. Like, no, those people just eating it because they want to. You're not eating that stuff in your sleep. You're telling me a spider can crawl all up on you in your face and you just go nom 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 it.
You just go nom 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 nom.
That's what you gonna do. You go nom 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 it.
Let me ask you a question. You've been over to the Middle East, like we were talking once on the show about camel spiders, right? You were talking about. They're massive, right?
Yeah, I shot at one.
Imagine if it just floated from the skies. Like those that's how the way they moved would be floating down like a parachute.
I'm moving.
You're moving. You're like, I'm not even like literally. That is what we make movies like 8-Legged Freaks about, like stuff like that.
That was funny. Arachnophobia. That was a scary movie.
Did you really find arachnophobia scary? I didn't find it scary. I don't mind spiders. I don't like snakes. I'm not a snake guy.
I don't like anything that's not a human on 2 legs that can't talk to me.
Over there in the Middle East, I'm sure walking through the streets of different places, you saw people that were cooking up many a different thing along the side of the road.
Yeah, they were cooking spiders.
Were they cooking camel spiders and scorpions and things like that?
Yep, scorpions, big lizards that we used to call dub-dubs, and scarabs. You ever seen a scarab? Like, you remember the movie The Mummy? And all the scarabs would come in, they eat everything off the guy, and there was nothing but bones left. Them things are humongous, and they sound like a helicopter when they fly by you. It's freaking horrible.
They are horrible. They are scary. I don't know. I've tried alligator. Tried squid?
I didn't eat none of that stuff, man.
You did. I was going to ask you, like, did you ever grab one of these scorpions on a stick?
Hey, every Saturday I go out.
What about cockroaches? Like the big cockroaches, they'll cook them up and like.
Why would I? No, why would
I'm just asking. I'm just asking if you ever looked at that. Did anybody around you ever try one in front of you? And
I told you I saw a guy eat a cicada. Yeah, I saw somebody eat
a cicada. But I'm just saying, like beyond that,
a scarab, and it was just disgusting.
Just disgusting.
Oh my God, it's horrible. It looked just like off of Indiana Jones. Remember that when they had that big old dinner, that big, I don't know who he was, a king or somebody bit into that scarab, and all that pus came out of the cheeks.
Here's the thing. I guess we just live in a more protected society nowadays, just because like we live suburban life. You know what I'm saying? The most we have to deal with half the time is like squirrels, snakes, maybe a spider, small spiders, wolf spiders, something like things that you can kill, relatively wasps.
But I wouldn't kill any.
Like over there, it seems like the scariest things are just everywhere. Dude, I'll never forget the first time my cousin told me the story of like living down in Arizona and finding the scorpions in his shoes. And they're translucent. You can't see them. You got to have a black light. And that's the only way you can see them. So you could just like take your shoe, go like this, try to like knock them out, whatever. Then look inside your shoe. You see what you think is nothing in there. It's up on the side because it can blend into its side. And then you put your shoe on and it just stings you. And now you've been stung by a scorpion.
And probably a baby one too.
It's probably a baby one. All I know is he's like, we had to have black lights in every room. We had these like 2 black lights that we would like shine over our towels and over our beds before we went to bed and stuff like that. Because you have to, especially this. They tell you this, especially when you're in a new subdivision. Anything that's being settled for the first time when they're putting houses up new in those areas, they're not used to the people being there yet. They're not used to how this is all going to change that. So they're still trying to live in those areas, and they're still trying to so they'll build a house. They'll just use that house as a new place to live in also on top of it. And by the way, houses are perfect for staying out of the sun.
I'd move.
Shade, right? The camel spiders, they love what? Shade.
I would move.
You would move.
Yep.
But you believe in werewolves.
Yeah. Was it a problem?
Yeah, you scared of scorpions, but you believe in werewolves. And it's like, one is completely made up and you don't have to believe in it at all. This one's completely real, but like you're cool with that one existing. You're not cool with this one existing.
How do you even know a werewolf is made up? What makes you think that? Because you haven't seen one?
Because, Jonathan, it's 2022. I'm 46 years old.
And we still see Bigfoot.
And no, we don't.
Yes,
I've never... ever. Literally, we haven't found Bigfoot and then more Bigfoots, and then they all came out and we knew about them, and we knew that there was an area that we had studied, we studied scorpions, snakes, rabbits, this, that, you name the animal on earth. We have not studied werewolves, and we have not studied Bigfoot. Like, we have not studied. Remember a few years ago when they said that they had Bigfoot? They had the body in the casket or like the freezer or whatever.
Like a bunch of raccoon
and it was like it was dead raccoons all bunched up with gnarly hair, and it was all like it was just. That's my point. That's how I know these things do not exist, because if they existed,
back to human form.
If they existed, just like every other scientist on this earth, our scientists would jump on it. Every human being on earth that wants to study things would jump on it.
It goes back to human form when it gets killed. That's what a werewolf does. You've never seen a werewolf get killed and it stayed a werewolf. That don't happen like that.
Are we seriously having a conversation to discuss the legitimacy of a werewolf again live on the radio?
So you don't believe in aliens?
Oh, no. I didn't say that the possibility of aliens doesn't exist.
You believe aliens, you got to believe werewolves. That's like a law.
Well, wait, hold on. Okay. There could be a planet. Okay, Jonathan, I'll go down the road with you. Because of the size and the massiveness of our universe, as it stands currently, with all the galaxies and all the stars and all the planets everywhere that we've not even touched on yet. Right. We have searched based off of rough estimates, like what we consider like 0.01% of what space and the universe really truly is. Right. That 0.01% includes everything on Earth that we've already figured out.
Oh, I know.
So as far as the vastness beyond our borders of space, we've still got 99.9999999% of it to the. Could there be a planet where there are things that go from human to werewolf and back? Potentially.
Planet werewolf.
Is there possibly a planet out there? It even could be similar in style to our world, where the United States is, right? Maybe everything's the same except for their sky's purple instead of blue, right? But they have oxygen just like we do. They have water just like we do. The same type of things were able to form and come out of their planet the same way our planet did, and we've never even gotten close to the area where that planet is. And could they also have technology and built it up and been able to get off of their planet and maybe been looking for a planet like ours? Very possible. So, yes, I could say that in that case right there, whether it's aliens or werewolves, they could potentially exist. As far as on this planet, as far as our world currently, and what we physically do know versus not what we don't know. We haven't studied werewolves. We have not studied Bigfoot. We do not know that these things exist. We just have this theory that they do. Listen. I love a good story just as much as the next QAnon conspiracy theorist ever did, okay? And they love Bigfoot too. Just like they love Donald Trump, and he's still the president of the United States, and he's taking it back from Joe Biden on election day of this year. It's happening. Trump's going to walk into the White House and just take it back over, and it's all going to be done. And then he's going to stop the Ukrainian war with Putin, and werewolves will be right behind him, standing behind him with their arms crossed. Yep. Yeah, like that is the mindset of those individuals. Now,
if we went on the radio right now, I'd cuss you out.
I don't think that it's
werewolves out there.
Why would you cuss me out for saying that werewolves don't exist?
If you believe in aliens, you gotta believe in werewolves. They out there.
No. I don't believe that we have aliens.
What about ghosts? Do you believe in ghosts? How about this? You believe in ghosts?
Do I believe in ghosts? Now, when we say ghosts, physical formations and that come out of nowhere that you can see with your eyes? Yeah. Or are we talking about the idea of being scared of the dead and sounds in the middle of the night in weird places?
Seeing something, walking around, like, oh, and it just disappeared. That was a ghost. You don't believe in ghosts?
My belief in ghosts is I have been in situations where what I consider eerie or weird things have happened. Now, I like studying the idea of ghosts and doing things like that much, much more than the legitimate belief that there are ghosts.
Oh, you want to weird
physical ghosts
that like to go in haunted houses at night. It's supposed to be really haunted.
I don't even go looking for haunted houses at night. No. I just like books about it. I read about books and stuff. I had full books on vampires. I have like 4 or 5 full like dictionary style level books about vampires. I like vampires. I don't believe that vampires exist because if they did, this would be something people would be into. Vampires would find a way to be a part of our society and to also help people that are sick that want to just be alive forever. There are people on our planet that would like eternal life.
You think living forever is help?
No, but they would like that. And these individuals could give them that. It would be a thing, is what I'm saying. Like, it would be a thing that everybody knows about. It would be a thing that everybody goes after or could potentially use to their advantage. It wouldn't be something where it's like, no, man, we got to keep it for ourselves, except for this girl. She's only 19, but I need to bite her neck and make sure she stays alive for the rest of life.
That would be a curse, man. Can you imagine not being able to? That would be a curse. Eventually, everything's going to go somewhere. Eventually, this sun is going to explode. Now, you're this vampire that can't die. So now you floating in endless space because you can't die because you're a vampire. But you ain't got nothing to do. What's a curse?
Speaking of curses, we are cursed with the world of commercials here on the radio station. We're going to take a quick break with myself and Jonathan May. And when we come back, more with The Q. Check us out at theqnow.com.
Werewolves.
Welcome back to The Q. We are an amazing radio show. We are the indie voice of politics and pop culture. We are The Q. I am Mark Bland. This is 105.3, 1280 AM KYRO. And we are here every single Saturday, 1 to 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. You can always find the show at theqnow.com. Jonathan May is our guest today. We've been talking about aliens and werewolves and Bigfoot. And I've got, listen, you know what? You've brought up you've brought up something I need to talk to somebody in this world about, and you might be the perfect person to talk to about this stuff right now, because you just tried to hit me with something that has become a real issue for me online and in this world.
It's smelling like some bull about to come out your mouth.
It is some bull. It's about ready to come out of my mouth. And that bull is that you hit me with the trust me bro source. That's right. When I say give me your source, you're like, trust me bro. I'm not a fan of trust me bro. Trust me bro source is not effective. Listen, trust me bro source. Listen, trust me bro. He was trying to shoot at me between those cars. Trust me bro. Trust me. That guy with the skateboard, he was going to kill me. Trust me, bro. He was going to kill me. He was going to...
Trust me, bro, is Fox News. Like,
trust me. No. That black man, he was stealing things in the middle of the street with those running shoes on. Trust me, bros. We got in our trucks and we got over there.
It worked for him for a little bit.
Trust me, bro.
It worked for him for a little bit.
No, trust me, bro doesn't work. I am sick of trust me, bro.
Oh, my God.
People out there have to stop in America.
Look at the source, though.
Yeah, you have to look at the source. Get a source, a good source. Now, we found out with Ahmaud Arbery, once the trial came out, and there were things that we didn't know. We had heard that he was stealing from the houses, supposedly. What we found out once the trial came out is he was breaking into these housing projects. They had cameras everywhere. They showed it in the court case of him breaking in January, then not in February, March, April, not in May, in June, July, August, September.
I don't think we can say breaking in.
No. Open areas, but he was going in.
Breaking in.
But these are pieces of land owned by other companies. They're building on them at the time. No different than your house is owned by you. He was going in and he was standing. They had videotapes of all this. But he wasn't stealing anything. He wasn't breaking.
You've never walked to a house.
These people, but the guys that shot and killed him.
That's the question.
What's that?
Have you ever walked into a house that was getting built up?
Of course I have.
Right.
I'm not saying that.
Did you think you were breaking in?
I'm not. Well, first off, it is trespassing for sure. I was definitely
not breaking in.
Well, that is technically what breaking in is. Trespassing in an area that you're not supposed to.
You get trespassed for being in the place. You have to get trespassed. You can put up a sign saying no trespass.
Okay, whether you broke in because there was no door on the building or you broke through the door, that's still trespassing and then breaking in. And it doesn't matter. My point being,
sorry, you want me to trust you, bro?
My point.
My fault. Is that what you want me to do?
That's what you want me to do with you. What I'm trying to explain in this situation is these individuals said that that's the reason they chased him down. That's not why they chased him down. They chased him down to murder and kill him. That's why they chased him. They didn't like a black person. They wanted to kill a black man. That's it. Right. So what they said, there was some truth to it, but not really. And when we saw the videotapes of Ahmaud going into these housing complexes, looking around a little bit and then taking off and going for the rest of his run, he wasn't stealing anything either. So it's like, yeah, there was truth to some of it, but there wasn't truth to some of it. And I'm sick of the, trust me, bro, he stole that shit. Let's go chase him down. Like, I am absolutely up to here with the Rittenhouses and the trust me bros and all this stuff. And no. I bet you Kyle Rittenhouse believes in werewolves too. He's probably smart, right? He's smart for believing in it. You like Kyle Rittenhouse?
Well, I don't even say his stupid
name. You like Kyle Rittenhouse for trusting in?
You're really gonna make me cuss on this microphone. I'm gonna get you fined with the FC of C's. It's
the FCs of C's?
That's right.
That's another thing we can talk about here. I have been attacked many a time on social medias and the interwebs and the places where we all go. Yes.
You've been attacked?
I've been attacked.
Why?
Trust me, bro.
Oh my God.
Trust me, bro. I've been attacked.
I could never thought that.
Trust me, bro.
Oh my God.
So no. My one of the biggest things that they come at me with every time is they go, well, it's obvious you're just lying. You don't know what you're talking about. Let me explain to everybody out there who doesn't understand how radio works. Let me give you a heads up for you. Okay? This radio station that we are on currently is on Federal Communications airwaves. That's right. It is a federally regulated radio station. That means there's a license with the FCC and the federal government that the radio station has to maintain. And there are rules that go along with that. And one of the rules that you learn about in broadcasting when you first start is you can't openly and knowing better go onto a radio frequency or a TV frequency at all in the United States that's federally controlled and manipulate or swerve people in the wrong direction with lies. Now, you can give your opinion. You can Tucker Carlson it all day if you want to. You can give your opinion of how you think things should be viewed, as long as you say the right things and you don't go overboard with this. You can do that. But you cannot literally come on. I cannot literally go onto this radio station and go, Jonathan May is dead. Jonathan May, who lives at this address with this phone number, he is dead. Damn, and then you're not dead.
We got to use that as an example.
But you can't. I'm just saying, it's an easy example. You can't do that to a person. That is lying to the public to deceive them. That is something that you could be brought up in court on, and that you could be charged with and get jails and fines and everything for. So yes,
Putin name or Trump or something like that. You had to use my name.
I'm just fine. Vladimir Putin is
it's too late now.
Donald Trump is dead.
It's too late. It's too late now, man.
I know. It broke your heart.
Oh,
it broke your heart. You'll come back as a werewolf. It's cool.
That's not how it works.
Wait, I thought that you had it all figured out. You guys study werewolves?
That's not how any of that works.
You can't study werewolves, can you? Just can't do it. Have you heard about Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, you was talking about that, about his new contract, right?
Yeah, this is crazy, man. This is a lot of money.
How old is that guy?
So he's 38 or 39 years old. And we are sitting here. Hold on. Let me get sure that I can get my piece of information, because I got my stuff here. He's the reigning MVP, 38-year-old Rodgers, and he is going back to the Green Bay Packers. Are you ready for this? Now, I know you get up every day, right? You get up every day. You work, don't you? Right? You turn in your 8 hours to your company that you work with and whatever like that to get whatever you make, right?
Give it my all.
Give it your all. He's going to make $50 million a year over 4 years. So $200 million in total that he will collect when it's all said and done for playing football. And he only has to play for a couple hours on a Sunday and then go to his practices and hang out and watch film. And it's a job. It's a job no different than the difference is that his hour of his job is probably going to net him like $250,000 for that 1 hour of work. And you're going to work the next 10 years straight to try to get $250,000 in your bank account. That's the difference. It's crazy, over the top money. And now we got people in the NFL saying, well, if you're going to give that to him, you're going to have to give Patrick $400 million. You're going to have to give Lamar $300 million. These guys are getting numbers that I don't even know if we could afford to pay them guys to play these sports.
They getting it for somewhere, man.
But I'm just saying, I know where they're getting it from with my 12-ounce beer that costs $32. I know exactly where they're getting it from. And I had to buy 2, so that's $64 for me and Jonathan to get 1 can of beer at the ballpark. Do you understand?
It's
my crazy.
Pack with Hennessy in the back of it.
Oh, you handle it like that?
Yeah.
You do the Camelback?
Yeah.
Really?
I learned a lot from the military.
I've seen people walk around theme parks with those, and I go, I get it, but I don't get it. It's hot out. Is it that hot? You need to be in the desert hot?
No, if you see somebody in a city with that, it's liquor. They're going around getting drunk.
Oh, sure. If it's downtown and they're driving around and going to the bar, so it's liquor. I get that. I've seen those people. I'm just saying, I feel like the Camelback aspect to the ballpark, that's a little brazen, pretty on the point, right? If someone saw that, I don't care who you are, whether you work for the team or not. If you're just a fan sitting next to the guy, you're going to be like, I know what he's doing. I think it's too obvious is what I'm saying.
Bro, you put that thing on your skin. You don't walk around with it out. It was touching my skin, and my shirt and jersey was over it.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You would just pull out the thing and just go for a little sucky on it.
Exactly. Right through the hand. I think the person next to me thought I was doing coke or something like that because I had it right in the middle and it was going up and hit it. But
that's a question that just popped into my mind about you that I've never asked. If there was a sport that you could have excelled at and would have wanted to play, what sport would you have played?
It would have been football.
It would have been football? What position?
I was kickoff return and running back.
You're a kickoff return running back?
Man, my very first play ever was a 98-yard return on the kickoff. Ever in high school football.
And now, where'd you play high school football?
Gateway.
You played at Gateway? Mm-hmm. Panthers? Is that what they are? Jaguars.
I'm sorry. Disrespectful, man.
Jaguars and Panthers. In fact, I might look that up. I think that's just interchangeable, honestly.
No, it's not interchangeable.
Let me double check. Is it
interchangeable?
Siri is. Hold on. You ruined it all. I had Siri ready to go. Things are. Siri is a Jaguar and a Panther, the same thing. Let's see what she says. Is a jaguar and a panther the same thing? Hold on. Oh, this is right here, right off the top.
Does she even talk to you? My phone talks to me.
No, sometimes I have to put her on.
You got a thing going on with Siri? You got to put it on.
Both of these are two different large cats. Although both eat the same food, meat, they are different in many ways. Okay, I see.
Oh, yeah. Big difference.
Okay.
Big difference.
Fair enough.
Jesus.
Listen, I don't think a lot of people understand. I was talking to a neighbor of mine. He's got chickens. Okay? Now, I've seen chickens full grown. I've seen chickens growing up. And I've seen chickens as chicks. But it's been interspersed over 46 years of life. Do you see what I'm saying? Sometimes I'm at a farm where they have some chickens running around and a rooster, and they're full size, right? Then you get the little tiny chickies that you see because you're walking through some place and they sell them to feed to snakes or whatever. Like, okay, I've seen all that. But I don't think that people let me ask you a question. Do you know how many eggs a chicken will lay per day? One chicken, just a full-size regular chicken, one per day. Do you know how many eggs they'll lay?
I don't know.
No, exactly. You don't know. But a lot of people don't know these things.
I was going a baker's dozen or something like that.
Nope, 4. Most of them can do 4 to 5 eggs a day. That's the max that they can do. But think about that. If you got 6 chickens, that's 30 eggs a day, and that's per day. So that's 7 days a week times 30. That's 210 eggs a month, bro.
How does that sex life work? Like, do they have sex every day and have eggs in the morning?
No. The chickens are asexual. Like, they just create the egg each time and it just comes out. Yeah.
What?
I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong about that. Do I have to ask Siri again?
Don't you think that's something we learned in school? Like,
I think we did. You just weren't paying attention.
Yeah, but they didn't teach that.
My point of bringing that up in the first place was, though, most people don't know about the egg aspect of chickens. They've known about chickens their whole life. They've eaten chicken a million times. They've seen it as a baby. They've seen it as a grown thing. But if you ask a random person on the street, just right off the top of their head, how many eggs can a chicken lay per day? And we live in St. Louis, which is a rural area with tons of farming around on the outskirts, tons of dudes that farm every day we run into at malls and everywhere else. A lot of people live in this area, and I guarantee if we walked up to 100 people, less than 10 would know.
Bro, you telling me these
For
roosters,
sure.
You telling me these roosters are not getting in with these chickens and making them lay these eggs?
I'm sure that roosters are getting it in with chickens, but I think that there's a style of chicken that lays eggs, and it doesn't require that.
Nothing.
Is what I'm trying to explain.
Just making babies from out of nowhere?
Do chickens require roosters to lay eggs?
Wow.
Let's see. Do chickens need roosters? Hens will lay eggs with or without a rooster.
How?
I don't know. That's where the asexual aspect comes in. That's asexualism.
I'm going to be up all night on YouTube trying to figure it.
Yeah, I'm going to send you on a YouTube rabbit hole that is going to be amazing. I can't wait till you find out all the different things that you didn't know about, these little things that you thought that you knew really well about.
You asked a question, I gave an answer.
But that was chickens.
But you just said jaguar was a panther.
But I haven't gotten to whales yet. I haven't gotten to werewolves. I haven't gotten to any of these other things. God. Do you think werewolves have to have sex with other werewolves to create a werewolf, or is it just bite the guy?
No, you can have, because you're human. Half the day you have sex with a normal person and the baby.
And then you have werewolf baby?
That's how you have Blade.
That's how we had Teen Wolf.
So you had Blade type baby.
That's how we had Teen Wolf.
That's how Teen Wolf was made?
Yeah, that's how Teen Wolf. His dad had sex with his mom, and then he was made. And then he was in high school and he played basketball.
Why didn't he turn into a wolf till he got to high school?
I think it has to do with maturing, maybe, you know? It's just one of those things. Where do we stand? By the way, and we're going to talk about this on the last segment of The Cube. Where do we stand on movies like Teen Wolf? How do we like Teen Wolf?
I loved it.
Were we cool with Teen Wolf?
Yeah, I loved it as a kid.
Now, think about this a little bit, okay? I'm going to tease this a little bit, all right? And for all the rest of you out there, I'm going to tease this a little bit before the break here, and then when we come back, we're going to talk about this, okay? Movies where it was a decent pop culture type movie, you know what I'm saying? And the sequels weren't too bad. Because we know how sequels go. Sequels can go really off the rails really, really fast. But the sequels weren't too bad. Like, Teen Wolf was good. Teen Wolf 2 was all right. It wasn't horrible.
That was Jason Bateman, right?
Yes, Jason Bateman was in the second one. Right. But, like, I get it. Like, so we're going to take a quick break here on The Q on KYRO. And when we come back, more with myself and Jonathan May. We're going to talk a little bit about movies. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to the queue. Hope you guys are having a great time. If you would like to follow us, I'm on Twitter at Mark Bland, MarkBland. That is how you spell Mark Bland. And follow me on Twitter. You can find me on Facebook. Jonathan May over there. He's Denzel Pitt. He looks good. He's a sexy man. He does his Denzel Pitt thing.
I forget about that Twitter page.
You forget about that Twitter page. You got a different one?
No, that's the only one I got.
What is your favorite social media to be on? If you had to choose one, like say that there was, all the others had to go away forever, but there was one that you could keep as it stands right now, and that would be where you have to do all your social media in the future from here on out, but you could get rid of all the others. Which one would you keep?
It's because I'm old. It's Facebook.
It's Facebook. Mm-hmm. I feel like Facebook just kind of does everything that we all need.
Well, it's starting to do it. I mean,
we get videos, we get pictures, right. We got like it's all of that. Like it's we can talk long form, short form. We can tell jokes. We can do anything. Plus, they got the real stuff now.
Yeah, it's basically Instagram and TikTok all in the place. Plus, I grew up with MySpace basically. You know, so it's like going from MySpace to Facebook. So that's what I'm stuck on. Instagram's not but pictures. Snapchat's is people in their drunk moments.
I got you. Okay, so I talked about movie sequels before we got to the break. And I said, think about this. During the break, I said, think about movies from like the 80s, the 90s, 2000s, pop culture, and which ones where the original movie might have been campy. It could have been like a good, like a lot of 80s movies now come off a little campy because now time has passed. We have such a different view of how we look at things, and like movies that we thought were like really funny and really, really good, we look back on now and go, it didn't age as well as we thought it would. But, I was wondering, what are some 1980s, 90s movie sequels where we thought the first one was a good movie, but they didn't need to make the second one? Like it's, or I thought maybe I presented it wrong, where the sequel was pretty solid too, right? Is that what I said before the break? I think I said before the break, the movie was pretty solid too for the sequel. So like Beverly Hills Cop 1 was good. Beverly Hills Cop 2 was solid. I liked both movies. So I feel like that's a good working aspect. Where do you stand on Beverly Hills Cop?
Beverly Hills Cop is just classic. I mean, I love them until they got to, what was that, 3?
I feel that movie made Eddie Murphy more than even his stand-up comedy and the Saturday Night Live stuff.
I thought 48 Hours did.
I didn't here's the thing with 48 Hours. I think 48 Hours hit a specific, like our parents, when they were in their 30s, their late 20s, early 30s. I think it hit them like at a specific time, and it kind of went away. It did get grabbed into pop culture and run with. I feel like Trading Places grabbed Eddie more into pop culture, but I think Beverly Hills Cop really like put him out there as he's a superstar. You need to pay attention. This guy's an actor. He's funny. This movie's good. We got Judge Reinhold. In everything, like literally all the time. So like, I feel like Beverly Hills Cop really put on Eddie Murphy more than anything else. He also gets a lot of credit for what was with the Brooklyn, not Vampire in Brooklyn, but no, the other one, Nights, Heat. Or the one with the don't shoot my big toe and all that.
Harlem
Nights. Yeah. Like, I feel like he gets a lot of credit, but usually in that culture, in urban culture and black culture, he gets a lot of credit for that one. I don't think he gets a lot of love across the world for Harlem Nights, is what I'm saying. So, like, that movie really put him on. And, like, you got Harlem Nights, which speaks to black culture over here, but then it was Coming to America. Coming to America was this next big windfall for him, like this huge movie that everyone knew about, like that everyone went and saw. So he kind of has his spots where he kind of gets on, and then he's got his other spots where it literally was what showcased him.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll be on that level again as like Harlem Nights and Beverly Hills Cop and 48 Hours, but best sequel from the 80s back in the day though would be Back to the Future 2.
Back to the Future 2, solid, very solid.
Classic.
I want to talk about 10 that might be. This is why I brought this up. I want to talk about 10 underrated movie sequels from the 80s specifically that deserve a lot more love, bro. Deserve a lot more love. Let's see where you stand, actor extraordinaire and comedian Jonathan May.
What you got?
All right, so movies that are sequels that should get more love. Number 10, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
That's classic. I agree with that.
I don't think a lot, once again, kind of like Harlem Nights, I don't think a lot of people caught on to it. It was like really popular. But like I said, this is a list that deserves more love.
Right.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 was entertaining. It wasn't as grimy and almost like a Blair Witch-ish the way the first movie was, more like first person. Right. It felt like it was being recorded through a telephone receiver that was just laying on a table back in the 80s. You know, had bad audio, was really tough. This movie was a little bit more fleshed out. It also had the famous Dennis Hopper was in this movie as the sheriff. You know what I'm saying? It flushed the family out a little bit more. It gave us some classic characters. So if you haven't seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, go ahead. It's from 1986. Solid movie. I think that people can appreciate. Might even have a chicken that lays its own eggs. I don't know for a fact. I'm trying to figure this out. I'm trying to figure it out. That's all I'm saying. Next movie. Let's see what we got here. The next movie. I'm sorry. I'm trying to close things and bring this other thing. I want this to come up. I don't know what is going on. Number 9. Number 9. This is a radio station. I haven't been here in a while, man. Calm down.
You over there with clickbait. What are you doing?
Not clickbait, man. I'm trying to work this computer. Like, things are happening.
Number 9 should be right under 10.
Number 9. Return to Oz.
No. Garbage.
I thought it was bad too. Garbage. I like the uniqueness of the character, especially the big pumpkin.
Tin man?
I like the big pumpkin.
What's that with the fat tin man?
He looked like a robot, right? Like, no. I like the big-headed pumpkin guy. Like, I do like the characters a little bit.
It was garbage,
but it wasn't that great of a movie. I agree. Did you see the attempted remake version with what's his name? The guy from Pineapple Express and all those movies. Not Falco? Seth Rogen.
You talking about the guy that had sex with all his students
at school?
James Franco.
James Franco.
Yeah, the pervert. No, I didn't see that one with the pervert.
They kind of remade it and tried to do it again.
I knew he was a pervert when that movie came out. He was messing with that monkey too much. What's number 8?
Number 8, Dirty Harry. You ready for this one? The Deadpool. Dirty Harry is one of Clint Eastwood's most iconic roles, and he made 5 different movies about this, but this was the one that was go ahead and make my day. That's where we get the line, go ahead and make my day.
I remember seeing that part, but I don't remember that movie to be like, yeah, that was good. Let's do it.
1981 brought us number 7 on our list, Halloween 2.
All those are good. You can't go wrong.
I thought that okay. Let me, as a horror buff, as a huge horror buff, let me put Halloween 2 into context. First off, I will tell anyone who wants to see the Halloween movies, fine, watch the originals from 1978, 1981. They're good movies, they're solid movies. But I didn't like the hospital one. I thought it moved too slow. I thought the first movie moved slow, but that's more of the year that it was made and like that time period in cinema, and they were kind of like playing with new things and formatting new ways of how horror was going to be viewed. Mm-hmm. Halloween 2, they already did that in the first movie. By Halloween 2, you've already had Friday the 13th come out and other movies like that. So now Michael's one of a few people that are like him, these slasher icons.
Friday the 13th Part 2 was great.
Friday the 13th Part 2 was good. That's where we still have Jason, but we get true Jason. This isn't Jason's mom now.
Right.
We get true Jason with the bag on his head.
Exactly.
It's not until you get to Part 3 where the hockey mask shows up, and that's what everybody loves.
Yeah.
But Halloween 2, not a bad movie. I just thought it moved a little slow. Number 6, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Oh, yeah. Hands down.
Legendary.
Hands down.
Legendary movie. But here's the funny thing. This is a sequel, but it's not the direct sequel. The second one was European Vacation. Mm-hmm. Which do you like better, Christmas or European?
Christmas, of course.
I think everybody likes Christmas because we talk about it most at Christmas. It's one of the few Christmas movies like Elf and them that stand above the other Christmas movies, so it's easy to play from. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, man. Christmas Vacation might be the best National Lampoon's Vacation movie. Yeah. It might honestly be, and that's saying a lot considering the first one with Wally World and all that.
Yeah,
John Candy, you got John Candy in the first one.
Both of those are classics.
I don't know. I still feel like I'd pull Christmas Vacation over the original. Like, I like the original. I like the story. It's even got St. Louis built into it, where they get their car stolen or the tire stolen off the car and everything in East St. Louis. And it's
get the directions. That's a funny scene.
It is, but I like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation a little bit more. Number 5. Timothy Dalton. Timothy Dalton made a Bond movie sequel Now, Bond movies are tough because there's a million Bond movies as it is. But this one is License to Kill from 1989. Deserves a little bit more love. Okay. I feel like this is the one that has the famous, it's either skiing scene where they're chasing them down the mountain on skis, or the cars are driving down the mountain chasing each other all the way when they get to like the dam over in Las Vegas.
I just remember that would be the one that brought extreme coolness back to James Bond. Like he was super cool and the action was super cool. I think it might be the skiing scene on there too, but it was just a good action movie.
Yeah, this is the story finds Bond going rogue to hunt down crime boss responsible for nearly killing his friend. It is a suave and stylish spy adventure that feels more grounded than some of the other films, yet it is still a blast to watch. You know, to be honest, this was Timothy Dalton. I think this is Timothy Dalton's first one. And I think that that's kind of important because for years it was Sean Connery and it was Roger Moore and it was like the other guy from like the 70s and the late 60s. And this was like the first person who was like within like a younger age demographic and set that they were trying to like focus. This is almost like the 1980s version of Daniel Craig is what this is. Like it's this idea of we're going to take a English guy who's suave and sophisticated and looks really good, not just talks it and is tall and is a well-known actor. We're looking for like an actor that no one knows about, and we're going to make him pretty awesome.
Daniel Craig only had one good Bond movie anyway. It was Casino Royale, the very first one. That was the only good one he did.
Number 4, Rocky 3. Of course, that's a classic. I feel like Rocky 2, though, was equally as good.
Which is 3 with Clubber Lang?
3 is with Clubber Lang, and it doesn't get as much love as 4 and 1. 1 and 4 get a lot of talk because of the Russian Drago, as well as 1 is the original story, so you get the whole Yo Adrian and all that. But Clubber Lang, you know, Mr. T literally made his name off of this in the A-Team. Before the A-Team existed, ladies and gentlemen, Rocky 3 came out, and when we saw Mr. T as Clubber Lang, we were like, that dude's a badass. Like everybody loved it. Number 3, Lethal Weapon 2. That's a good pull.
That's a good Christmas movie.
I do like Lethal Weapon. I do like Lethal Weapon 2. I think Lethal Weapon 2 does deserve to get a little bit more love. I think the one that they did with number 4 with Jet Li.
No, Lethal Weapon 2 was the best.
The one with Jet Li was really solid.
Jet Li and Chris Rock.
Yeah, that was a really solid one because that's where he's the son-in-law and he played. Yeah, that's a good sequel.
That one was kind of all over the place. Lethal Weapon 2 is the best one out of the series.
Okay. Number 2. This is a great movie. If you've never seen The Color of Money, you need to get off of your stoop right now and go watch Martin Scorsese and his sequel to The Hustler, which stars Tom Cruise as well as our friend Paul Newman. And I love Color of Money. I think it's a fantastic movie. You know what Color of Money is? Color of Money is, so you used to work in cocktails and at bars as a bartender? I sure did. Coughlin's Law. All right, well, come over to our pool hall. We'll start teaching you about pool. And then he just did the same thing. The only difference is he did that one before he did Cocktail. So it's like the vice versa of that. Like, I did like Color of Money. And, by the way, a movie that got an Academy Award nomination can't be that bad. Can't be that bad.
I've never seen it. I need to sit down and watch it.
Number 1 on this list, and I don't know where everybody's going to stand on this list when it's all said and done, but number 1 on this list, Ghostbusters 2, Jonathan. Ghostbusters 2. This is where we get Vigo.
No, it's not better than 1.
I don't think it's better than 1. They're saying that these sequels deserve more love.
Oh, no.
I don't know, man. It was kind of cheesy with the whole ooze coming through the cracks and the baby. Don't get me wrong. We do get the whole Statue of Liberty fighting against the evil at the end of the movie because they play Higher Love.
Yeah, Jackie Wilson
in Higher Love. So there's some love that you get there. Have you seen the new Ghostbusters movie?
Yeah, I did. It was actually pretty good.
It was really good. I love the way that they mixed the old lore into the new lore. And for all of you out there, you should really check out is Afterlife? Is that what it's called? Ghostbusters Afterlife. If you get a chance, rent it. It's on digital right now. You guys can get it. Well, Jonathan, you begrudgingly, like a werewolf in the night, made it through this entire episode of The Q. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to get out of here on the show. I want to thank Jonathan May for being on the show. Thank you so much, Jonathan.
Peace.
I appreciate you being on the show. Will you be back?
Yeah, of course.
Will you come back?
Yeah, stop.
Will you come back with stories and things to talk to us about next time instead of relying on me to believe that werewolves
You're
exist?
the one doing all. What you talking about? You ask me the question, I bring it out, and I talk about it. It's a radio show. That's what I'm supposed to do. I'm trying not to cuss. You keep messing with me, you'll be beeping out all this stuff.
You don't have to be an ass. You don't have to be an ass at all.
Oh, that's 2 times. You looking for a limit?
Yeah, no, nobody cussed. Nobody cussed. Just
That's
you.
not a cuss word?
No, I didn't say a cuss word. You didn't say a cuss word, did you?
Oh, my
Did you say a cuss
No,
word?
I didn't. I'm talking about you because you said something
Okay.
twice.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you find our friend Denzel Pitt over there on Twitter as well as Instagram and everywhere else. Jonathan May. Check him out for his comedy when he's doing his stuff. Of course, we'll let you guys know when he's going to be around the St. Louis area or in the movies. He's in movies. He's a movie actor. He does do movies. So we'll let you guys know when those come out. Make sure you check us out at theqnow.com, TheQNOW.com. We appreciate you guys every single week for having us here on KYRO and 105.3 FM. Thank you so much. We will see you guys next time on The Q.
I can feel too much is never enough. You always there to lift me up when these times get rough. I was lost, now I'm found. Ever since you've been around, you're the woman that I want, so I'm putting it down. Come, my lady, come, my lady. You're my butterfly, sugar.